It's a stark contrast, seeing the compassion of those aboard the Mercy ship compared to the cruelty of the Flying Dutchman's crew.
It highlights the idea that even in death, there's still a spectrum of good and evil.
The pirates attacking the defenseless souls on that ship. It's hard to read, but it also shows just how far Ricky's willing to go to save his family.
And he does manage to alter his parents' death dates, which is a huge victory.
But it's short-lived, isn't it?
He's captured again, and Barking Bert, well, he finds a new way to torment Ricky.
Trapping a rat inside his rib cage. I think I need a moment after that visual.
It's definitely one of the more gruesome moments in the book, but it also highlights Ricky's resilience.
He never gives up, does he?
And we can't forget Becky, still more concerned with her appearance than the rat gnawing at her friend's insides.
It's almost comical, but it's also a coping mechanism.
Exactly. Everyone deals with trauma differently. But then things get really real when Barking Bart reveals he's altered their death dates.
Bringing their time in the afterlife to an abrupt end. Talk about a punch to the gut.
And yet, amidst the despair, Ricky tries to rally the other prisoners to spark some hope, but they're too far gone.
Resigned to their fate. That's heartbreaking.
It really is. So Ricky attempts another escape. This time, it's the swab closet.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, right?
But it's not enough. They're caught. Just when all hope seems lost, Ricky reveals his trump card. He's altered Becky's death date.
That's our Ricky. Always thinking one step ahead. Well, sort of.
It certainly throws a wrench in Barking Bart's plans.
And then comes the Isle of Abaddon. What an incredible setting. The imagery is both terrifying and hilarious.
Jones has a knack for that, doesn't he?
Absolutely. The volcano spewing lava, the soul catchers, those ridiculous signs pointing to different hells. It's like a twisted carnival ride.
And just when you think it can't get any wilder, tragedy strikes.
Becky getting bitten by that snake, it came out of nowhere.
A reminder that even in the afterlife, danger lurks around every corner.
And two, sacrificing himself to save her. Now that was a tearjerker.
He showed true courage in those final moments, proving that even a grumpy old pirate has a heart.
And then, right as things couldn't possibly get any more intense, Ricky starts to feel himself returning to his body.
His time in the afterlife is coming to an end.
But what awaits him on the other side? That's the big question. I don't know about you, but that last image of Ricky and Becky plunging into Davy Jones's locker, it left me speechless.
Talk about a cliffhanger.
It's the ultimate unknown, right? Even in an afterlife filled with giant squids and skeletal pirates, Davy Jones's locker still holds this sense of mystery and finality.
And that's where this excerpt picks up. Ricky's sinking, surrounded by darkness, and you get the feeling that this is it. This is the end of the line.
You really do. But then Jones throws us another curveball. Instead of fear or despair, Ricky experiences this incredible sense of peace. He even describes a tunnel of light, classic near-death experience stuff. But still, you can't help but feel a sense of relief, almost like he's finally found some kind of resolution.
And just when you think he's about to cross over, he's yanked back. Imagine that, experiencing the afterlife, maybe even heaven, only to be ripped back into the land of the living.
Talk about a rude awakening. He describes it as being sucked back into a vacuum, violently thrust back into his body. Not exactly the peaceful transition you'd expect.
It makes you wonder what was going through his mind in that moment. Relief, disappointment, maybe a little bit of both.
I imagine it was a lot to process. One minute he's surrounded by light, the next he's staring up at a bunch of worried faces. Talk about a reality check.
But he's alive, and that's what matters.
Right, he survived the afterlife, or at least that version of it. But as we see in this excerpt, he's not the same Ricky who first tumbled into this strange new world.
He's seen things, experienced things that most people couldn't even imagine.
And it's changed him.